So I thought of a very amazing word, very amazing stuff, which to do properly, we would have to look at the Meraglim, the parsha of the Meraglim. Here's the Shiloh. So we know that Moshe Rabbeinu sent the Meraglim out, and we're told, Rashi tells us, they saw everything with a bad eye. Everything that happened, which was actually good, they saw it for the bad. We're going to have to read through the Psukim to really make sure that this chiddush over here, or this thought, really does fit in. When we have time, we're going to do that. But for right now, I wanted to say, how do Chazal know all that? So we have the yesod that if you ever want to understand anything in the Torah, or anything in the world, you have to go back to the very first time it was ever mentioned in the Torah. So we go back, when was the very first time the word Meraglim was mentioned in the Torah? It was back in Parshas Miketz, and we have the babies crying, so we're going to have to fix that. Okay. We'll have to put that over there. Okay, or we have to sing a little song. Na 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 na. It's amazing what music does. We're gonna have to say the Dvar Torah in a song to make sure the baby doesn't cry. Oh, so the very first time it says Meraglim is by Yosef and the brothers. If you look at the story carefully, they fail to recognize all the good that was done to them. They look at the money that was put into their sacks. They look at the money that was put into their sacks not as something which a Kodesh Baruch Hu did to them. They not as a chesed, but they look upon it as something which as something which they were set up for, and they were looking at also, they did not recognize Yosef because they had a preconceived notion. They went into Mitzrayim thinking that Yosef was a slave, so they failed to recognize who he was. So if that's the story, by the very first time it mentions Meraglim, so perhaps that's how Chazal know that by the Meraglim that Moshe Rabbeinu sent out, they know that that was the problem with those Meraglim as well. They went into Eretz Yisrael with a preconceived notion. We know that from the fact that the 10 brothers must have gone into Mitzrayim with a preconceived notion as well. From the fact they did not recognize Yosef, we also know they failed to realize the Akar Satov, all of those people dying, that was actually a chesed being done for them. How do we know? Because it could be that the fact that brothers had all the money in their sacks, it's exactly as Yosef's servant, whether it was Menashe or Ephraim, said to them, perhaps HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the servant, I remember being Menashe, but that he said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem, your God, must have put the money, he's able to do anything, that's what it says in the pasuk, and he must have put money into your sacks. That's, nobody tricked you or anything like that. HaKadosh Baruch Hu put the money into your sacks. So, into your sacks. Okay, that's the quick thought, and we will think about that and look it up in the Chumash later today and see how it fits in.